5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's time to count down reality TV's most talked about moments with Amanda Bella. Hey everybody, welcome back to Bella Talks TV. This is Amanda Bella, and I can't wait to be joined with you guys for another week of crazy reality TV and pop culture countdown madness. We're going to get right into it this week because I'm a busy bee. I've been all over, and I have to leave to go to Michigan early in the morning to go to my niece's first birthday, and also going to be attending the opening day of the Lions football game season. So it's going to be a really fun weekend. My husband travels so much for work. It's really hard for him to be able to go back to Michigan every time with me. So I'm really excited that he's going to be going back with me, and we're going to be having like a fun family weekend. And I'm just so excited. I feel like football has all, been taking the Taylor Swift effect, if you will. And I mean, what do you guys, this is not on my countdown because this is really not TV related. Do try to stick to that as much as I can on this show. But what do you guys think of this like leaked document that was really like Taylor and Travis's PR breakup? Like, do we believe this? I don't know. I think it's so easy now to like chat GPT or use AI to like create any type of document. You can put anything out there. You have to always take everything with a grain of salt. But I've been pretty much a truther since day one about that relationship being fake and for being for PR. So I mean, I just always go back to the golden rule of being a celebrity or a Bravo celebrity. And it's that if you want to stay private, you will. If you want to keep things off camera, you will. Like there's ways you would just do things in life. So not everything is public. Some things really are meant to be private. And I think that things are just curated sometimes too perfectly to really, like, we know that relationships are not that perfect. So I don't know. I just don't know about any of it. I always have a side eye to everything I read. But yeah, let's get right into it this week. Because like I said, I'm here. I'm drinking my coffee for the day. I'm in the corner. I've moved over from the desk because, to be honest, like our place is like HQ now. My husband is an entrepreneur, and I like to compare him to the likes of Kyle Cook, which I know a lot of people probably right now are like hitting their steering wheel. But I swear he's a good guy. Their birthdays are the same. Like they're just big Leo energy, but he's like taking over the office. And I'm like, you know what? Like, first of all, the lighting over in that corner is not great. Like, I don't know if you guys are joining me on this YouTube journey with me, but the video component of the show is, I try to sprinkle in some things that are cool here and there, but it's really just me sitting here in a room. So it's not like I'm on the street doing interviews or like in a cool studio having guests. It's really just me in my office at home. And so I've just kind of taken over this little corner here. I'm going to take a picture of what it looks like from my view looking out into this room. And you guys will laugh. I'll post that to my Instagram. And yeah, in addition to just in trying to improve the lighting and improve like the overall view, because some of the videos I took you guys, like I look insane. The light, I realize why Mariah Carey like brings her own lighting everywhere. Lighting is so important. And I think sometimes too, people will meet me and be like, wait, is that even like the same person? Like I do kind of look different in person than I do on camera and in video. I actually just had to be part of a different photo shoot too. And the girl was like, I just don't understand. Like you don't look like this. I'm like, I know. I'm like one of those like vampires from the 12th century that has just like looked the same since the beginning of time. I don't know. It's weird. I don't ever evolve. It's like a whole thing. But okay, let's get into the show. I needed a little bit more caffeine to get into it today. So let's get into the show this week. We got a regular show. It's just solo dolo. It's just me, Amanda here. I don't have any guests this week. I've been really trying to prepare. I actually do have some future guests already scheduled for like October even. Like I'm really out here doing it. I'm doing my best to balance this crazy schedule that we have traveling and also being consistent with the show because I love it so much. And it's basically like going to therapy for me. Like I've made that comparison a few times. I am the definition of the girls, like, that like Giggly Squad is always saying like, oh, what guys will do instead of going to therapy. Like I'm kind of like what girls would do. Girls will start a whole podcast before they go to therapy. So that's me. But yeah, we have a lot to get into this week. Let's start right with my OMG of the week because I just think that there's a lot going on in the OC and it has not been my favorite season. It's so weird. Like I hear people ranting and raving about how it's like the best season ever and how Housewives is back, and it's just not hitting for me. Everyone knows that I'm a big Tamra fan, and maybe because she's having a bad season, like I kind of think about it like sports, like just because Lions have been, have had a bad season or whatever, you don't like abandon the whole team, abandon the whole franchise. Like you're going to stick with them through a bad season. So it's not like I'm going anywhere. It's not hitting for me. I think the fact like the DUI for some reason for me, I think because it happened, like if you guys remember, that happened right after filming had wrapped last season. So we didn't really see like a lot of the true fallout from that. We're catching up with these ladies and catching up with Shannon like months after this thing has happened. It's been like maybe 6 months. So we're seeing Shannon getting this thing installed in her car and her breathalyzer. And I don't know, just things just feel a little disconnected. Like she's taking accountability, but it's taking her a little while. It's not really in this package that I think everybody like wants and needs to see to feel like we're getting like a true apology from her as a society. She just got really lucky that night that she just only hit a house and that she only had a dog in the car, and like only like how many times are we going to be like, oh, she's a cat with 9 lives, when really the truth is that she's like a little bit of a dangerous person in society. Like she's not, sure, you don't like grip your pillow at night like in fear of Shannon coming for you. She's not like a serial killer. I think that, she's not necessarily like a good person. And that's just my opinion. And I see what Shannon and Tamra are really fighting about. And in this recent episode, Shannon, we get the TRES AMIGAS back together. Shannon, Vicky, and Tamra. And my heart was happy in the moment. I love all 3 of them truly. I actually really only like Shannon when she's a part of TRES AMIGAS. I don't really like her as like a solo person. I love Vicky so much, you guys. And I know that she is problematic. I know that she also too is just not a great person. But you see, like I can like problematic people too. It's not like I'm like a Karen. Just some problematic people hit for others. Shannon's not doing it for me. Vicky always does it for me. I was so happy to see her on my screen. We have this whole episode with her. We have these girls like seemingly the TRES AMIGAS making up and having this moment of them like at least agreeing to like move forward with not fighting, kind of like calling a truce, waving their white flags and being like, hey, let's just like not go for the jugular for a little while. Like we know that we have some problems here, but let's try to at least not totally like break this group up. I think we all know, like fast forward, that's not how things are today, because that is my OMG of the week is, first of all, Tamra's face. This CO2, this carbon dioxide facial that she did, it's not a facelift from what I understand. She basically just got like her entire face burned off, and it's now, rehealing. And, as a girly, I'm interested in stuff like this. I've done some crazy facials, some things that have hurt. Nothing like this, obviously. This is next level. Tamra's approaching 60. Shannon's had a facelift. Vicky's had a facelift. I think that she was like, okay, I want to get a facelift, but I'm scared. Or maybe like, I want to get a facelift, but like, I'm not really a good candidate. And maybe these are the reasons. For whatever reason, she ended up doing this. And if you guys have seen the photos online, like how could you have not? It's such a jump scare. Every day, Tamra is showing us her healing journey of this face that she has. And I'm loving seeing the memes comparing her to things. I've seen everything from like dinosaur to Mother God. And Mother God was my personal favorite. Remember when she was drinking all of the colloidal silver in her skin? Oh my God, you guys. R.I.P. Mother God. What a time. What a time to be alive. To know that I was alive at the same time as Mother God. Wow. But that's really what Tamra looks like. Such an insane OMG of the week. I can't believe. So one thing that you would think you would be doing when you're having your face be burned off is like, I'm going to maybe not take pictures or like stay off of social media, doing any front facing cameras, taking any videos that, are going to show my face because my face looks insane. Nope. Tamra's just putting it all out there. She's kind of like Bethany mode right now, where it's almost like it's like so insane, like a car crash, like you can't look away. Like I don't necessarily want to be seeing Tamra during this healing journey, but of course now she's doing like interesting videos and talking about things off screen and getting into some of the mess, and people are tuning in, and she gets into this fight with Vicky over the weekend, where Vicky's on this new podcast with Christian Grace now, which shout out Christian. I actually, for somebody who him and I disagree on like pretty much every one of our favorite housewives, except for Vicky. Vicky is our common denominator, but I really love him. I met him at BravoCon in Vegas and just knew right away that he's like just down. He's a good guy. But he has a podcast with Vicky currently, and Vicky's on this podcast and she's talking a lot of shit about Tamra, specifically about the fact that her other daughter, Sydney, does not speak to her. And now remember, Tamra had Ryan from a previous marriage, and then she got married to Simon, and she had 3 kids, Sydney, Sophia, which are the 2 girls. And I keep wanting to say Simon, but that's obviously the ex-husband. And then what is the other one? Spencer. So Spencer, Sydney, Sophia, Simon. I kind of low-key hate when families do that. Like no shade if you're a family that does all J's or all B's or whatever, but it's kind of hard to remember. So Sophia, Spencer, and Sydney. And Sydney, the older daughter, does not speak to, she took Simon's side in the divorce and does not speak to her, and pretty much has said like, Mom, if you get off the show and you stop doing embarrassing, crazy things on television, like maybe we can rekindle. Tamra, I think, has chosen the show a few times, and I get it. I think every family dynamic, like everybody knows if you are a daughter, if you know a daughter, it's like things get a little tricky. And then especially when kids get divorced or, are products of divorce, it's really hard. So I think, between the show and between all the drama that has happened, I mean, I think one of the moments that really solidified Tamra for me being like one of the best, why she's on my Mount Rushmore of Real Housewives, is that moment in the limo with Simon going, I want a divorce. Like, I remember that moment when she was getting dressed to go to that party and he was like disapproving of her outfits. And I don't know, I'm sure there were more things that they even cut out. But that was such a raw scene, and like Housewives have just never done it like that since then. So she's like the original like Scandival almost. I just love Tamra. But yeah, I don't love this face, and I don't love this fight that her and Vicky are fighting about. I don't like that Vicky's talking about her issues with custody and with everything that happened with Simon and the divorce and the daughters. And, it's clear that Tamra can't be like so evil because the other 2 kids, Spencer and Sid, they still live with her and love her. And Sophia's on the show. We've seen Spencer on the show. Ryan doesn't come on the show because, he's also problematic. And that's, I'm not even going to get into that today. But yeah, that's really my OMG of the week. Tamra's crazy face, this fight she's in with Vicky. Like, I'm going to need my mother's to make up. I'm going to need Tamra's face to heal. I need time to pass here. I need, with this too shall pass. Like, with time, all things heal. We need to fast forward and get through this, difficult time in there. I just feel like there are going to be bright and sunny days ahead for OC. It's 50-50 down the board if people think that the TRES AMIGAS will never reconcile, if they don't have it in them, or if they will. And if there's a path forward, I mean, it goes back and forth. They change their minds every day. We know on Bravo, anything is possible. Through Daddy Andy, all things are possible. We love a reunion, right? Reunions are there for what? Resolve, reconciliation, all of these things, you guys. This is very important. This is why Jersey's getting canceled. We cannot have these decade-long fights going on. We need to have resolve. And we need to be able to move forward. So yeah, OMG of the week. Let's move over to my LOL of the week because again, it's a good one. It's a doozy. I've been LOLing all week. I've been literally rolling on the floor laughing. I love moments like this in our nation's history where I can open my phone and I can see something and I can truly cackle. And I know we talk about Schadenfreude, or I talk about this, Schadenfreude a lot. Again, that's a callback to Elise, one of the Roni friend ofs. I think she was friends with maybe Dorinda, maybe Luann, maybe all of them, Ramona. No, I think she was actually Ramona's friend of, which was ironic because I think that Ramona was the reason why she also was not asked back. But Elise talked about Schadenfreude, which is like the joy of someone else's downfall, like getting pleasure out of someone else's pain. And I can't help it. I got to just admit that I am feeling total Schadenfreude about the fact that a video surfaced this weekend of Lenny Hochstein's, I guess it would be ex-fiance now. They've called off their engagement. She's already moved on to another man who kind of just looks like a younger version of Lenny with tattoos, with like tribal bro tats on his arm. There's a video of them on a boat that surfaced, and then there are some now screenshots of some text exchange or DM exchange between Katerina, I believe is her name. Is that her name? We have to find out that I make sure I know this chick's name. I love doing like a live thing with you guys. And the last thing I Googled was Lisa Hochstein split. Okay, so Lisa Hochstein's fans call her a winner after ex Lenny splits from fiance Katerina Mazepa. So I'm unclear. I don't even care enough about this Katerina girl to look up where she's from and what her deal is, but she's clearly a grifter, and it all makes sense now. Like, everybody was like, how the hell is this girl like so into Lenny? Lenny was at that point like married for what, 12 to 15 years to Lisa. They were together, like they were for sure together for over a decade. So it's like, okay, this guy's kind of like an old married surgeon, kind of like Terry Dubrow-ish. Like, you just don't see Terry Dubrow going out. I mean, you hear about it in the streets maybe, but you don't see him leaving Heather to move on for like a 21-year-old Instagram model grifter. But we did see Lenny do that, and it blew all of our minds. Like, one of my favorite season storylines ever of all Housewives of all time was Lisa and Lenny getting divorced. And I mean, technically, I don't even know if they are all the way divorced. Like, who even knows? But he's had this freaking mistress that he's been with that everybody has hated. Stupid Katerina. And, you know, the nation has been against this woman for forever. And now we find out that she has already basically cheated on Lenny or whatever. Now, I just saw a paparazzi video from like some Miami paparazzo, is that the plural? Some kind of company down there. And they clearly are one of these like Craig restaurants. It's actually Milo's. I think it's an Italian or like seafood restaurant. Milo's. And this paparazzi's camped outside. They're waiting for the valet, and you can tell that they're like, they don't look like they're having a great night. And that was only 1 week ago. So in the last week, they have totally broken up. She's been removed from all social media. Well, he hasn't removed all the photos of her, but he's removed her from the joint Halloween birthday party account, which is, hello, we know that that's Lenny's like number one prized possession in life, is that Halloween party that he throws in Miami every year, where all the women have to be in lingerie. Oh my God, to know that this man is single and hopefully totally dying right now. Like, well, you know, not literally dying, but crying, upset. We hope that he is just like distraught. We hope that he's embarrassed. We hope that he feels foolish. We hope that he feels like he got played. We hope that he feels regret, because I think that they're saying that she kept the diamond ring and like some other diamond bracelet that he gave her, and they like want the jewels back because she might have grifted like alone for the jewels. Like, are you kidding me? Is she a freaking jewel thief? Is she a jewel heister? Oh my God. All of a sudden, I'm like so kind of like into this Katerina girl as I'm saying this, because she's totally scammed Lenny, and Lenny is really the villain in this. Wow. So they want the jewels back. We're going to have to stay tuned. This is like Erica Jane and the earrings. Like, who will keep the earrings? Who's going to keep the diamond engagement ring? She looks like she has some kind of sick, beautiful tennis ring or tennis bracelet. Dang. So that's my LOL of the week, is opening my phone to see that Lenny's been dumped and moved on from already after 1 year of being engaged to this chick, leaving his wife and his 2 children basically. Well, I think he might even be like a good dad, which is, I can't hate on that. I mean, how good of a dad could you be if you're like treating the mother of your children like that? But, you know, we don't really hear too much about him being like a deadbeat dad, at least. He's got something going for him. But yeah, we'll have to just stay tuned to see what happens with Lenny and Lisa. Everybody raise a glass if you have it now. Pull the car over, whatever you're doing, and just take a moment of silence for Lisa Hochstein taking the win on this one. We're very, very happy about that. I'm going to take a sip here and take a quick break while my laundry is spinning out insane out there. And I'm going to have some coffee, and we'll come back and do my top 5 countdown. Okay, and welcome back. We're going to get right into my top 5 countdown. There's a lot to cover this week. And I have a lot of points I need to make, because, you know, one thing, again, that I love about the show and having this platform is the fact that I can jump on here and really have a moment to like get it all out of my system, like get all of these thoughts out. It really makes me feel like so much lighter and better afterwards, just knowing that I'm able to at least have a place where I have all these opinions about things, which again is like natural. Like, I feel like we've been made to think that having an opinion about things is you know, not good. It's frowned upon, and you have to really like stand and your passions and your truths. And I just refuse to let like the negativity of the fandom or just in general, like any type of negative comments. Okay, you guys, we're back to do my top 5 countdown of the week. And, you know, we're joined here with Candy now. She's been quite the menace today. She has her good days and she has her bad days. So do you want to say hi? Bring her up for a second. She's been bothering the shit out of me today. I think she can tell when we're traveling. And even though when we leave, we still leave her with his mom, who is her second favorite person in the world. So it's not like, you know, she's being left at like a pound when we leave. I think she can just sense, you know, even when I'm doing laundry, I think that triggers her. I think she knows that means I'm going to pack the suitcase. There's all kinds of things going on here today. So yeah, getting into my top 5 countdown of reality TV's most talked about moments of the week. We have lots of stuff to cover this week. Coming in at number 5, we have the birth of Lala's second baby that she conceived through the California Cryobank. We're not really sure what her name is going to be yet. We do know it was revealed to be a girl back when she did her gender reveal. And there was all this, what I think was faux drama that she was trying to stir up between her and Brittany so that she would get cast on the Valley. I think she wanted her out from VPR there. I think she really saw her bridge. And I think that it did not go the way that she thought it would, even though she did film. It sounds like some pickup scenes while JAX was in the mental health facility that he was in. But either way, you know, Lala, she's just somebody who, again, I talk about this fall from grace a lot, and she's really just disappointed me over time, which really, really hurts me to say. She was one of the best reality TV stars we had, and I don't want to even imply that motherhood changes you in a negative way, but I think it does change you in the type of reality star that you are. And she, again, has tried to portray the soft version of herself. She's talked about wanting to, you know, and I guess that's the thing is, I guess it's okay when you say it, right? Like everybody was so up in arms about the idea that Lindsay needed to be softer and that Lindsay, blah, 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 softer, Carl softer, all this stuff, soft bar, like enough with the soft. But when Lala's trying to be soft, you know, people didn't really have a problem with that. They were like, yeah, she needs to soften up. She's a little crazy. So I don't know. I feel like, is it because it was self-proclaimed and like it wasn't like a man telling her to soften up? I mean, obviously if Sandoval was like, yo, Lala, I want you to be softer. Like I think everyone would be like, shut the fuck up. But I don't know. I just don't know where the future of the Valley and VPR lies, you guys. We have so much going on. We have the second baby that was just born. Now let's talk about rumors of names. I've talked before about how I'm like obsessed with the celebrity name. And if I were to ever have a child, I would for sure name it like Rainbow or something. It would have to be the wackiest name I would be allowed to get away with my husband. But I don't know if that will ever happen. But, you know, if and when it does, I'm going to have to go to battle for like some of the names that Lala probably considered for her baby. So we hear that she ruled out anything ocean related. So it's not going to be sea. It's not going to be ocean and sea. It's not going to be ocean. And I think she said it's not going to be ocean and, oh, what's the word I'm thinking of? Not sea. I don't know. There's some other water related one. Sailor. Yeah, not sailor. She was talking about how I think snow was on the list, but she said not snow because she said literally it would make her think of cocaine. And she doesn't want her kid to be associated with that. So honestly, I kind of get that. I mean, I really like the name Snow and Ocean. I heard Sky was on a list somewhere. That's cute. I don't know. I'm really interested to see what this baby's name is going to be because I think it's fun when babies get named. And I think that babies are cute. And even though I don't necessarily love Vanderpump Rules babies, I think that everybody that wants to be a mom should be a mom. And I think that it's great that Lala has found her calling in life. I guess, you know, some people have to procreate. So I'm glad that she took on for the team because couldn't be me. But I'm glad to know that this baby was born out of love and really wanting to be brought into this world. I am excited for Ocean to have a little sibling. I think she's going to be like 4 now or 5. Like she's got so many little friends with Summer Moon and, you know, all these little babies. But I'm just not really that and the whole baby of it all. And I don't really want to see any of it on VPR. And then people are like, well, what are we going to have a show about? It's a great question because there's a lot of rumors going around. Now, if you guys didn't catch me over on Coffee Meets Vodka, the podcast with Rhea Hensler, we did talk about my predictions and a little bit of my thoughts on the future of VPR. You guys should really go check out that episode. She's so fun. I'm going to have her on again for sure. Love her. But I just think that as far as the future of VPR goes, like I do see a world in which Ariana just stays in New York. Like I know she just bought this house in LA, which I mean, whatever, real estate you can flip and get rid of in 5 seconds. So I don't think that that's going to necessarily tie her there, but I do think that getting other opportunities on Broadway, like I have heard, of course, silly rumors that don't mean anything, but would make me so happy, is that maybe she will also be playing on other future Broadway shows, such as playing Glinda, or it's not Glinda in Wicked, it's Elphaba and the pinky girl. Hold on, let's find out. Alpha and Glinda. No, it is Glinda. Alpha and Glinda. But maybe she will play Glinda. I could so see her playing Glinda. Like Roxy to Glinda is such a Broadway, like, dee-dee. She should just do that. So I would love to see Ariana stay in New York. That's just my, like, why she listened to me. But I don't think that VPR needs her. I don't think that she needs VPR. I think let Sandoval keep it. Let Jax be single, come back to VPR. Let Kristen even be over on VPR a little bit. I mean, I would love her and Luke to break up. Like, we got to get Van Gogh out of there. We need to have like Mission or like Operation Van Gogh, and we all need to ride at dawn and get Kristen out of this relationship. Like, this cannot be her end all be all. Cannot happen. So we still have Schwartz. We still have him around to film. We still have James and Allie. We do still have Lala, and I'm sure she's still going to be in the mix. I mean, the baby stuff, I don't know what we're going to do. We obviously have Sheena to deal with. Katie and Ariana, maybe they both go. I mean, this is like playing the same game that we play with Jersey, when it's like none of us have any idea what we're talking about. We're just kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what's going to stick. But I don't know, you guys. So at some point, decisions are going to be made, and there's going to be casting announcements, and there's going to be probably people let go, and we're going to have to all grab our pitchforks, put our big girl panties on, and put our tinfoil caps on. We need all the armor we can get to battle up for the decisions that are going to have to be made. I mean, changes have to happen. Change is good. It's not easy for people. So we'll have to see how this baby, not only what this baby is named, I'm truly on the edge of my seat waiting. And then we're going to have to just wait and see how the rest of it plays into this future season, because now Ariana is going to be wrapping up Broadway any day now. And we're going to be finding out, is she picked up? Is she coming back? Is there a contract signed for her to be part of the next season of Vanderpump Rules? Because we hear Israel, who, if you guys don't know who Israel is, he is, I don't know if he goes by the pronoun he. I don't know if he is, I have to look to see if he's even LGBTQ plus, or going by him, her, they, them pronouns. Not sure. Unclear. But we'll find out. He seems messy boots, and he seems like he's down to get into the mix, which is what we need on VPR. So he's a host. I believe he started at Schwartz and Sandy's, and then now he moved over to Sir. So he's around. He looks like he's, being interviewed to possibly be on the show. I think that there's probably a lot of potential people and like hidden gems in Sir, in that world right now, in Pum, in Tom Tom. I mean, let's throw together a cast, and then we can still have the OGs there to play off of it. People don't like that usually, but like, how else are we going to get new people integrated into the show when all of these people, Jax especially, which I'm including him in the VPR cast, are in their 40s. So it's like they're moving on again with the summer house stuff. I got to tie it back. Eventually, we are going to have to say goodbye. So just start to brace yourself now. These things can't last forever. So yeah, that was my number 5 most talked about moment of the week. Congratulations, Lala, on the birth of your baby girl. You did it on your own, which is truly insane and does not happen every day. I mean, what percentage of the world have done this, have had a baby with not even a partner? I mean, I'm not talking about just using the sperm donor. That I'm sure goes on frequently, actually, even surrogates, etc. But to really be having a baby consciously without even boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, nothing. It takes a lot of dedication. So my hat goes off to you. Okay, we'll move over into my number 4 most talked about moment of the week. It's a little random blip on the radar, but it's kind of more, I'm tying it into like an overall theme. But there's this is again kind of all tying back to Broadway too, because we have Jinx Monsoon, is a RuPaul's Drag Race, I believe, world universe winner or something, like the top, like she won the number 1 drag queen of the world, of the whole franchise. And then she was picked up on Broadway to be Mama in Chicago, which is the same play that Ariana plays Roxy in, but they were not playing together at the same time. Jinx was off, then Ariana came in, and that's what goes on. Alyssa Milano is going to be the next Roxy that comes in after Ariana. I mean, this is what goes on. This is why these shows have been on for like 27 years, and why people still go see them, because they have these celebrity guests that come and like guest role. So Jinx Monsoon took it upon herself to get involved in the fact that Paige has a show with Amazon called In Bed with Paige DeSorbo. And particularly for whatever reason, this did strike me as being such a hot button topic, because I just was streaming all the episodes of this, Paige's little web show. Because on that, remember I told you guys about the Amazon Prime app. If you go on there, they have these different channels. One of them is Housewives Vault. One of them is Bravo Vault. And they also have another streaming channel that's literally all of the Paige DeSorbo Amazon content. Not just her in bed, but also her Amazon lives, the things that she does when she's like styling people. I watched a thing the other day of her doing ASMR. I sure freaking did, because that is who I am. And it's not that I'm like some huge Paige fan. I've talked about this before. I actually don't think I even like her. I'm not sure why but I think I'm just accepted that she's an influencer in my culture. And I do want to hear what she has to say, but it's just, I'm not hanging out with her and getting dinner with her. But, she's got good products on these Amazon things, and I'm a sucker. So back to Jinx Monsoon. She's very upset about this because the original show was actually In Bed with Joan Rivers, and it was Joan, queen, icon, legend, in her bed interviewing celebrities and talking about things. And, this went on, I think, for one season or something. I don't think it was like a huge cultural moment, but it meant a lot to a lot of people, and Joan Rivers meant a lot to a lot of people, myself included. Like Fashion Police, I know, was like the most basic reference, but that was how I knew her. I watched constantly. I thought I was going to be the next Juliana Rancic. LOL now, if you guys know. If you know, you know. But she was opening up RPM with Bill Rancic in Chicago when I was living there. I lived 1 block from RPM, the restaurant she opened. I just was like, I'm going to be her. Here I am in a corner with a plant trying to talk about pop culture. But, I'm doing my best. But these are people that influence you, and they're influencers, whatever. I don't like this whole argument that Jinx is trying to make about Paige, because I don't think it's her fault. I think Amazon called her and were like, hey, bitch, you want to do a talk show from your bed? And I think Paige was like, duh, yeah, I'll do it. And it's like, I don't think she was like, I don't know, I can't do that because Joan Rivers. I don't think she even knew that Joan Rivers did it. And I don't expect her to. So it's like, can we just practice a little bit of forgiveness in the world? Does everyone have to try to be canceled? I don't know what Jinx personally has against Paige, but Paige is an ally, I think. She's like some anti-trans person. So leave Paige alone and go check out that Amazon streaming, if you want to catch up with her. Like I said, she has a lot of good products on there. She has guests that come on to talk about their nighttime products. There's a lot of good stuff. Don't knock a girl that's out there hustling. She's an independent woman. She's not just clinging on to Bravo. She's not clinging on to Craig. She's doing her own thing. And I think a lot of people don't like her because of that. And they feel intimidated or they feel some type of way. And she's like, I'm just a girl. I'm literally just being a girl. Yeah, love Joan Rivers, love Paige both. I do not think there was any type of intention there. I don't think there's any type of beef. I don't think anybody needs to be canceled. And yeah, nice try. Jinx, still love you though. Still love you. All right, moving on to my number 3 most talked about moment of the week. We have to move into the Dancing with the Stars world. Now, everyone's been anxiously awaiting. I don't know if I say everyone, if I just mean me. I have been anxiously awaiting to find out who's going to be on the next season of Dancing with the Stars, because I'm not like an OG watcher. I just kind of started catching on the last couple of seasons. Obviously with Ariana on last year, that really took my fandom to a new level. And I was really interested because now I understand how they typecast these people. And they're like, in Bachelor Nation, they're in the Housewives Bravo sphere, they're in the Olympics, they're pulling people from they love to throw in like a 90s sitcom star, they throw in like a random Disney Channel star. I see now the formula, and because of that I do get curious, who are they going to choose from these universes these people are from? And this year we got Phaedra Parks as our representative housewives. Now I personally have actually had enough of Phaedra. I'm a little burnt out on her. And I saw so many memes that were like Phaedra's team working hard to keep her schedule full. And it's that meme of the lady in the fast food uniform in the alley smoking a cigarette. It's Like, yeah, Phaedra's working hard. She's got good representation too. I'm never going to ever say, like, I think part of being a good mom is working and like taking opportunity, but like, is Apollo in prison? And is he or is he not? Like, is he out? Is he on the latest season of Married to Medicine? Like, I get confused about the status of Apollo and like her kids, the prince and the president. Like, where are prince and president? Like, where are they? Are they just old enough where they're like off to like boarding school? And like, I don't know. Like, not that she can't be a mom. And that's the thing. I'm not here to mom shame. I'm just saying Phaedra seems to just work. And I don't like, when is she a mom? And when is she home? I guess that's what I'm more trying to say is when is she home? Working hard. So yeah, she's on Dancing with the Stars. I personally would have loved to see OG throwback star or something. I don't know. Wasn't for me. I guess I see why they casted her. I really, really do wonder if Sheena thought causing a fuss about not being cast would get her cast, or if it has actually detrimented her chances of being casted more. I would love to know. Okay, but yeah, back to Dancing with the Stars. So we have Phaedra, and then we have from Bachelor Nation representing Joey, who was the last Bachelor, who I watched his season and he was generally okay. Like, he's okay. Picked Kelce. Kelce's dad is a stud, and he's going to be on the Golden Bachelorette with Joan. Lots going on over in Bachelor Nation. We're going to talk more about that later. But the Dancing with the Stars lineup, Joey, and then we also have Jen, who was most recent Bachelorette, who just got let go. So again, we'll segue into that in a minute. We also have the pommel horse guy and the rugby girl, Alana and Steven. They are going to be Team USA there, Dancing with the Stars. And then we have Carl Winslow, who is from the show Family Matters from the 90s. You know, like I said, they love to throw an OG throwback, older guy up in there. And a couple of, there's a Disney star. There were a couple other people that were cast and, nobody that I'm like gagged over. I think I personally feel let down. Tori Spelling has been cast and it's like, she's another one where I'm like, she's never really been gone long enough for me to miss her and be like, wow, I'd love to see her back. Like tackling this. She also has like 8 kids. Like, I don't know. Kids need their moms. It's really hard to have these opinions, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. But it's just sometimes what comes to mind is it's like, what's more important, getting this check and getting on reality TV? Sometimes the check is needed though, in which case it's allowed. So as long as it's not just for fame, as long as you're not doing it just to stay relevant and stay famous, then I think I can understand why you would leave your family to go do these things. Anyways, okay, let's take a small break here. That was really the Dancing with the Stars lineup. It's really not that great. Again, you can probably find the whole lineup online, but I think I got all the heavy hitters. Take a quick break here and we'll be back to finish my countdown. Okay, everybody, welcome back. So moving on to my number 2 most talked about moment of the week is the Bachelorette finale. So if you guys weren't watching this season, it was a season that was kind of like most others, to be honest. It's always had the same formula and it's kind of always been the same kind of drama going on. And one of the main things is like discovering whether or not the guys that are on the show, if they came on there for the right reasons. Are you here for the right reason? And the right reasons would be to find true love, to find an everlasting partner, to find somebody who you work with off the show, to find somebody who you realistically can be living with after the show. Oh, it's a lot. And another thing that we really see a lot of struggle with that we don't see in women, because again, this is just something that I guess is inherent about us, not to get into gender roles, but I think the women are more willing to accept an engagement after 8 weeks because we just prepare mentally for it longer and we're just more innately ready for that moment in life. Maybe we're just mature, whatever. Frontal lobe is all there. We're ready. But when men get the idea of having to propose, even when it's literally to someone that they 100% know is going to say yes, that's dying to get engaged, like they cannot wait, they're still nervous. They're still nervous to do it. They still aren't sure. They just don't know. And so when these guys have to actually get to the engagement at the end of the Bachelorette specifically, when the guy is expected to propose to the girl, it just is always like when shit hits the fan. Like it's all fun and games up until the proposal. Things always go awry. And this season was unlike no other. Of course, Jesse Palmer, much like Chris Harrison, his protege, the master before him, who lit the torch and passed on to Jesse Palmer, is like, this is going to be the most dramatic engagement ever. And he's fucking right. Like, it was the most dramatic one again. Like, it was so brutal. So yeah, we have to talk about it. Number 2 most talked about moment of the week was the Bachelor finale. And I love how they do that after the final rose. And now they kind of watch it live with the studio audience and they have them there to watch. And it's like this meta experience of watching the Bachelorette, watching herself, like, and everybody's there. I mean, it's a lot. You sign up for a lot when you do this show. And I think Jen knew what she was signing up for. I think that you know that at any point things could go down. And one thing that people forget is that this is a produced show. And as much as this is a real life situation, it's just not normal. It's a pressure cooker. It is 8 weeks, 12 weeks of this insane schedule, filming, only seeing each other on camera, spending only one night together, literally ever, before deciding to get engaged. They have the fantasy suite night, and that is it. I mean, it's a lot. So Jen whittles it down to Marcus and Devin. And I was sold on the Devin juice, like, which is weird because I feel like my bullshit radar is usually pretty good. And this guy was really into Jen, like, from the beginning. And that is usually a red flag because it's like, okay, you don't really know her that well. Like, how could you be so sure already? But he honestly, sociopathic in the way that he gaslit everybody. Somehow we're all coming out of this together now. Like, we almost are like, I see how cults now happen. Like, I've never been bamboozled like this. Like, I totally drank the Devin Kool-Aid. I thought this man came from a single mom family, respected women, just wanted to, like, procreate, get married, procreate, like, break the generational trauma. Also comes from a family that is not white and had that in common with Jen and was able to maybe, be able to raise biracial kids, which is an important skill to have if you're going to engage, and you're going to get engaged and do this. So there was a lot here, and Devin kind of handled every single step of the way perfectly. Like, we kind of always knew he was going to make it to the end, but of course, Marcus was a hot contender, and even Jonathan, who got 3rd place, he was kind of up there for a while. Like, we weren't really sure where Jen was going to go. And then I thought we were going to have a Love is Blind moment where she got up to the altar, per se, and chose herself at the end. And I was, like, about to lose my mind. But spoiler alert, if you haven't watched this yet and you care about this, you're going to, you need to go watch now, because what ends up happening is Jen does decide to have the conversation with Marcus and basically tell him, you're not far along enough for me. Like, I am in love with you, or I think I am. And again, you guys, they've known each other. They've gone on 5 dates. So she's like, I'm in love with you, but I just don't think that you're, like, going to get far enough along for me. And I get it. He's kind of, like, guarded and he's a little bit more quiet. And I think she wants more of this big personality that Devin had. So Marcus really, basically admits to her, you're right. I don't think I can get there. I'm just not there. And, like, I can't give you what you need. And you're going to need to probably just go with Devin. So at that point, she loves Devin. She's like, okay, I'm sad that Marcus, didn't choose me basically in the end, but I have Devin still. I'm going to lean all in. And I love Devin so much, I'm going to propose to him at the altar. This has never been done in Bachelor history. And this is why Jesse's like, something we've never seen, never been done. He's right. We've never seen the girl propose in the end. So we get to the altar. Devin professes his love to Jen. Jen is like, I can't let you propose to me because I want to do it to you. Devin, blah, blah, blah. She goes into her spiel about why she wants to marry him. She gives him a ring, which I thought was, I get it, girl. The Bachelor producers work harder than the devil. That is something that they 100% put her up to. They're trying to be modern. They're trying to, I don't know, be relatable. This wasn't it. This was a miss. This was a miss, Bachelor Nation, if you're listening. But if you guys haven't seen that show, Unreal, I talk about that every once in a while. Go find it. It's called Unreal. It's a scripted series about the making of The Bachelor. It's very interesting and gives you a lens on why knowing the ins and outs and what goes on in the production room behind the real lives of these people that are dating goes on, and casting and all kinds of things. So we all got conned by Devin. Now we fast forward to finding out that they got engaged and they left Hawaii together. But since then, Devin basically totally ghosted her. One thing I learned about The Bachelor, which again, we talk about the ins and the outs and the BTS, is they have something called happy couple, which is when the couples do get engaged at the end, they are allotted these special weekends where I guess they're given security and maybe paid for hotels or resorts or something where they can go and like be privately alone. And I guess they're called happy couples. I've never heard that term before. So she kept being like unhappy couple when we were at happy couple. And I'm like, what is she talking about? I guess that's what happened. They went on a couple of these little happy couple weekends because again, remember, like this is filmed and there's all this time leading up to it where we can't find out who wins. I never spoil it for myself. I had no idea what was going to happen at the end of this show. I don't like to watch spoilers. I don't like to have spoilers. I don't like to go online and find things out. I don't even like to snoop that hard on Reddit. Like I'll read some things, but I don't like to know. I do want to have the natural reaction of what's going to happen. So I was really just totally shocked to find out that, yeah, Devin basically had a couple of meetups with her. I guess things weren't going well. They both expressed to each other they thought maybe it would be better to break up. So I don't think she was totally blindsided. She's kind of giving me Lindsay Hubbard I was blindsided vibes when it's like, babe, were you? Or did you see this coming? So I understand. She probably has PTSD. I mean, they probably all do from this experience, kind of like the Love Islanders. They are all like taking a break from social media and stuff because they know they don't want to be, it's a constant thing going on. So we find out that Devin basically broke up with Jen via a phone call, not even in person during one of these happy couple retreats. But they break up, and then the next day, Jen finds out that Devin followed Maria, who, as you guys know, was my choice to be the Bachelorette this season, and who's just like, I don't know, I'm enamored by her. Can't explain it. I also am like an Alex Cooper head all of a sudden. Like, I can't explain it, you guys. Like, some influencers, I don't know. So Maria, I can never say her last name, Georgios. I love her. And I still wish she would have been the Bachelorette. But Devin followed her. And then after the final rose, which was so brutal and unnecessary, they have Jen come out, sit with Devin for the first time since they broke up on the same couch next to each other, watch the proposal back. And Jen is sobbing the entire time. Devin doesn't say anything. No one offers the girl even like a tissue. And then they're fighting. They don't really resolve anything or get anywhere. Devin, I think, went with the approach of I'm just going to not say anything or like less is more because he really didn't he didn't say too much. He didn't throw any fuel on the fire, if you will. And then all of a sudden she also lays on us, not only did you go follow Maria on Instagram the day after you broke up with me, but then you're out clubbing with Jeremy. And I thought that was so funny. Like they painted Jeremy and Jeremy's in the audience, like catching strays. He's like, what the hell? Now I'm in this. And I saw a really funny meme of, you guys remember the Euphoria scene where they're doing the play and Alexa Demi realizes, oh my God, the play's about us. And they had a meme of Maria being at home watching after the final rose being like, wait, is this play about me all of a sudden? Like, oh, Maria, sorry that you had to catch some strays, girl, you and Jeremy. Everybody should go club in New York if you want to. If you're together, you're together. If you're not, you're not. If they had been broken up, it is what it is, girly. This is Bachelor Nation. He obviously signed up with her, totally used her, totally conned us all, and just wanted to get into it and hopefully get an invite to paradise. We all got conned. But you guys, this has been going on for forever. So we can't be that surprised. We can definitely be angry, but we cannot be shocked. Oh, Devin. All right. Peace out to Devin. We already know Jonathan's coming to Bachelor in Paradise. No. Did he give anyone else the invite yet? I'm sure Daisy will be there. Jen will be there if she's not doing Bachelor with us. If Bachelor in Paradise and Dancing with the Stars don't, she'll be there in Paradise. I'll have to tune in and see everybody. So yeah, that was my number 2 most talked about moment of the week. The internet is lighting Devin's ass on fire, as they should. My number 1 most talked about moment of the week, another story that has lit up the internet per just, the reason why I grab a microphone and get as quick as I can to get here and talk to this stuff about with you guys is the fact that JAX has now left the mental health facility that he was in. He has revealed to us that he has been diagnosed with bipolar and post-traumatic stress disorder. And, you know, I appreciate him for being honest with us. He revealed that he has PTSD from losing his parents, which his mom is actually still alive, but has kind of like, they've been estranged ever since Jax's dad died, which we know that totally traumatized him and really changed like who he was and like his DNA as a person, like his origin story. That's the moment he decided to marry Brittany, and now Brittany has officially filed for divorce. And, you know, I understand that Jax waited too long to go to therapy, to get the diagnosis, to get the help, to get treatment, because if anybody who has dealt with somebody in their life, a family member themselves, who has gotten a diagnosis, like that doesn't change anything. Like that's just knowledge, which is great, but the change is going to come from then doing the work, doing the therapy, doing the exercises, making whatever changes are necessary in these people's lifestyles to really be able to not be the same person they were pre-diagnosed. You know, like Jax has a lot of work to do that. Okay, I'm glad we know the problem now, but I hope, buddy, that you're going to really do the work to make the changes in your life where you're not, you know, living kind of like a falsehood. And I hope you can really find a way to figure out who you really are and lean into the things that make Jax Jax and find a woman who really does actually do it for you. Because I think another problem is that you felt so pressured. I'm like speaking to Jax like I know him. I feel like you felt so pressured to be with Brittany because you wanted so badly to like move on to that next chapter of life and like kind of not be the Jax villain anymore. And I think you really did have that desire. But I think Brittany was a little bit of a pawn in this, and I think she's resentful for that now. And as you guys know, she was the one to file. She is the one that I think was finally like, okay, enough. I think Jax and a lot of men just let the women handle it, which is unfortunate, but you know, we are the stronger, smarter species. So fine, if we have to do that too, we will. I'm just so happy that she did do it because I think it's the right decision. I don't think that they should have ever gotten married. I know that they have a child together and I just hope that they're able to continue to co-parent. I know Brittany's going to stay in LA. She's an LA head. She always wanted to be there. And she's kind of reminds me of Danny Bucco. Remember Nia? Nia like refuses to move out to the suburbs. She's like, no, I'm living in Hollywood. I think Brittany's kind of like that too. Like I think all of these girls want to be those types of moms. Like they're trying to make that happen. They're all like banding together and none of them are leaving Hollywood or the Valley or whatever. They're all kind of like in this neighborhood together and they are really prioritizing that because they have a show to shoot now and things have changed a lot. So we know that Jax, you know, was released just days, maybe moments before they decided to go on this cast trip to Hawaii. So everybody that is on the Valley, I'm talking everybody, Jasmine and her girlfriend, who we never saw last season barely. Aaron, who is Michelle, who is Jesse's ex-wife, is also on the trip. I don't think that, and they're getting along. Like Michelle's ex-husband, who's Jesse, and now the new boyfriend, they also kind of look alike, which is funny when girls have like types like that. But yeah, they look like they're getting along just fine. I'm a lollipop. I think everybody knows I'm a Jesse lolly stan, so I'll say it. Yeah, I'll say it. Love him. Maybe he's just going to be like the new Jax, you know, and maybe he'll be actually the Jax who learns from his mistakes. Kind of had like a not so great first season, had some douchebag moments, but comes back and hopefully charms everybody else and hopefully has a good season. So yeah, with the Valley, everybody went on this cast trip. Van Gogh, Kristen, Zach and his partner now, his boyfriend, is also on the trip. This time they learned from last year when they were mad. Remember, we were all like, with our pitchforks, being like, no, everybody needs to go on the final cast trip. Like, this shouldn't be fair for Janet to tell people not to come. Well, now everybody went this year. So it's going to be a smorgasbord of Valley heads that are out there, Valley cast that are out there. And we're going to have to just wait and see how this season goes now with Jax apparently not filming the end of it because he was hosting a bachelorette finale night at Jax's Studio City instead of going to Hawaii. That's what he was doing the night he got released. Now, like I said again, if Jax is having any other like issues, I really hope he's doing the work now that he's out because he can't just be hanging out at Jax's. And I don't know, like I talked about Sherry Frosted Lips Cartwright. I understand she is like, I think that she just hangs out in LA because she's been married 3 or 4 times. I think she's single now and she just is like the glamour to Little Cruise. I mean, if Jax is at Jax's Studio City and Brittany's in Hawaii, I hope frosted lips is watching little Cruzy. Oh my gosh. Again, it's not about being bad parents, but it kind of is. And I think that it's okay to say sometimes, like, these people totally prioritize being famous over having healthy family functions. And it's why we love them. It's why we love them, and also why we hate them, and why I come here to talk shit with you guys every week. So thank you guys so much for being here. I don't want to end quite yet. I wanted to end just on a little story of my weekend in Montauk, because I've had some people ask me if I saw any Bravo Lebs when I was out there. And I did, for a brief moment in time, see some people. So, you know, it wasn't anything too crazy or exciting. And it was kind of just like a fun little run-in. But I went out there to meet up with my girlfriend, and we were hanging out. You know, we went out to get some drinks, and then we found out, you know, we had heard a little birdie had flown by and told us that maybe some people were at this place called Project Montauk Project. And so we went there, and lo and behold, yes, the queen of Summer House herself, Danielle, was indeed there. And I may or may not have watched her purse while she peed. She was honestly so funny and so sweet, and gave me a big hug. And like, I just appreciate meeting people like that who understand the assignment. And I've always gone up and down with my feelings towards her. I think she knows that I will say this, I appreciate this about people. She is the exact same person she is off camera. Bubbly, effervescent, running around, knows everybody. She just is, she's that girl. So I really appreciated meeting her. I thought she was really fun and funny and cute. And I love Danielle. I have to say, I loved her. Now, moments before that was the moment that she ran into Bethany and had that little run-in. And I didn't like that moment, because Bethany said she didn't know Danielle. Danielle was like, no, you know, and like, your followers will know. And then people were like, damn, she really got roasted. Yeah, I didn't love that. I wish Danielle maybe would have either not filmed that, not posted that. Who posted that? Did Bethany post that? Like, whatever. They did each other dirty there. That was not Bravo love. And that's why Bethany is not part of the Bravo family anymore. She should know who Danielle is. She could use Danielle. Like, Danielle's a smart person. Like, she shouldn't be talking down to anybody. So yeah, I love Danielle. I loved running into her. She was so funny, and I had so much fun out there. Honestly, I'm such a summer girly. Like, I am really sad for summer to end. Even though I'm going to Michigan and kicking off the first like kind of fall weekend there, which is going to be amazing, and I'm really excited. And then, like I said, I have some travel to Florida, and then I will also be going to Disney World and going back to Vegas, and have a lot of fun things planned coming up. The Watch What Happens Salt Lake City party is next Tuesday. So today's Thursday. In 4 days, hopefully I'll be meeting Lisa Barlow. So you guys put that out into the universe. You know, I've been always trying to manifest things for myself on this podcast. One thing was getting myself to the summer house. That didn't happen this year. So I am, you know, heartbroken, but never say never that maybe next year will be the year it happens. A year goes by so fast, hoping that will be something in the future. But all right, you guys, I will let you go with that little story. And I hope you all had a wonderful Labor Day weekend. I hope everyone is not having too bad of Monday, Sunday scaries, going back to work and having a fun fall. And just remember that we have a lot of good shows premiering coming up. There's a lot in the pipeline, and we have a lot to be happy about. Like, we could have been, I saw the meme that was like 3.14 billion years existence or whatever. We're here at the same time as the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City or Bravo in general. We're here now, and that's what's important. So I love you all. Have a wonderful weekend. Ciao, Bellas. Ciao, Bellas.